Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at food safety,
Oh, yeah.
specifically within the world of catering.
Oh, cool.
You know, we've seen some food poisoning outbreaks recently in Singapore,
Okay.
like the one with Stanford Catering.
Oh, yeah.
These really highlight how easily things can go wrong,
Yeah.
even when you think everything's being taken care of.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to be going beyond those headlines.
How
We're
about
going to
the-
try to understand how and why these things happen.
Okay.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
what you can do to stay safe.
Okay.
So to help us unpack all of this,
Yeah.
we have not one, but two
Wow.
amazing experts joining us.
Okay, great.
First up,
Yeah.
we have Chris Lowe.
Okay.
Now, Chris has a really unique perspective
Uh-huh.
because she's not only a creative director for catering companies,
Mm-hmm.
but she's also a certified food hygiene officer.
Oh, wow.
So she actually conducts surprise inspections
Interesting.
using this cool trick,
What's that?
glow germ gel.
Glow germ gel. I've never heard of that.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So it basically shows you whether hand washing has been
Right.
effective.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was super interesting.
That's a fantastic approach.
It is a fantastic approach.
Yeah, it's a really subtle
Mhm.
but powerful way to make sure that people are complying.
Yeah,
And really just emphasizing that hand hygiene is non-negotiable.
absolutely.
And speaking of hygiene,
Yeah.
this brings us to the human factor,
Yeah.
which is often the biggest challenge
Right.
when it comes to food safety.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where our second expert comes in,
Okay.
Dr. Richard Kaw.
Okay.
Now, he is a food safety specialist,
Mm.
so he can really help us understand the science behind all of this.
Okay.
Both Chris and Dr. Kaw,
Mm-hmm.
they both agree that more often than not,
Okay.
it's improper hygiene
Yeah.
by food handlers that leads to contamination.
Makes sense.
You can kind of see how it happens.
Yeah.
Now, you imagine this really busy kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
All these orders piling up,
Mm.
everyone's rushing around.
Yeah.
Suddenly washing your hands after handling some raw chicken
Right.
feels a lot less urgent.
It does. Yeah.
We've all been there, right?
We have. Yeah.
Cutting corners when we're stressed,
Yep.
short on time.
Exactly.
Chris gave a really great example.
Okay.
She mentioned how some caterers,
Yeah.
they might thaw poultry in open air
Oh.
instead of a chiller,
Oh, wow.
which is quicker. But it's
Yeah.
also a breeding ground for bacteria.
It is. Yeah.
So this brings us to the really important point of temperature control.
Yes.
Dr. Kaw was emphasizing that improper thawing
Uh-huh.
and not monitoring the temperatures while you're cooking
Yeah.
are major risk factors.
They are.
I bet most of us
Mm-hmm.
have undercooked something at home
At some point. Yeah.
at some point.
For sure.
But now we can understand
Yeah.
why that 60 degrees C
Uh-huh.
or 140 degrees Fahrenheit
Yeah.
is so important
It is.
for getting rid of those harmful bacteria.
Right.
Now, here's where things get
Yeah.
even more interesting.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's not even the caterer's fault.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
How's that?
The source ingredients might already be contaminated.
Oh, right.
Chris told this crazy story
What was that?
about baby squid arriving
Mm-hmm.
with such a high bacteria count
Oh, wow.
that even cooking it to the right temperature
Oh, God.
wouldn't make it safe.
Scary.
So this raises a really important question.
Yeah.
What's happening upstream
Yeah.
in this food supply chain?
Right.
How are caterers supposed to ensure
Mm.
that the ingredients they're receiving are safe?
Right.
So apparently
Yeah.
there are these things called
What are they called?
certificates of analysis.
Certificates of analysis.
I didn't even know these things existed.
Me neither.
But they can verify the safety of ingredients.
Oh, wow.
So they detail what's been tested for
Yeah.
and the results. But Chris mentioned that not all caterers are using these.
Oh, really?
So it just seems like something worth asking about
Definitely.
when you're choosing a caterer.
Yeah.
This really highlights how complex this food system is
Uh-huh.
and how we need transparency
Right. You?
at every stage.
Yes.
But even when ingredients are safe,
Mm-hmm.
there are these sneaky bacteria
Oh, no.
that can wreak havoc.
Okay.
Dr. Call pointed out Bacillus cereus.
Bacillus cereus.
Yeah,
Okay.
which loves to hang out
Where?
in fried
In
rice,
fried rice.
which is a classic buffet dish.
Yeah.
Now, here's the scary part.
Okay.
Bacillus cereus
Yeah.
forms spores.
It forms spores.
But these are like
What are they, like,
little survival capsules
survival capsules?
that can withstand high heat,
Wow.
meaning they survive even when the food is cooked properly.
Oh, gosh.
So later,
Yeah.
when that food is sitting out
Right.
at room temperature,
Mm-hmm.
the spores can germinate
Oh, no.
and multiply,
Oh.
turning that delicious fried rice
Right.
into a potential health hazard.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
understanding those time and temperature guidelines is
Yeah.
so important,
It is.
especially with buffets where food is often left out
Right.
for long periods.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
I know it can feel a bit overwhelming,
Yeah.
but don't worry.
Okay.
We are not leaving you hanging.
Okay, good.
Both Chris and Dr. Kaw had some fantastic advice
Okay, great.
for navigating the world of catered events
Uh-huh.
safely.
Okay, good.
So the first and most crucial step
Yeah.
is choosing a reliable caterer.
Okay.
Don't just go for the cheapest option.
Right.
Do your research,
Yeah.
check for certifications,
Mm-hmm.
and look for caterers who are really prioritizing
Mm-hmm.
food safety
Okay.
and have a solid reputation.
Good advice.
Chris also had this great tip
Oh, yeah.
about managing expectations.
Okay.
Those last-minute changes or additions to the menu,
Right.
they can really throw a wrench in the caterer's plans
Oh, for sure.
and increase the chance of mistakes.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
can try to finalize your order in advance,
Right.
give them time to prepare everything safely.
That makes sense.
And here's a big one,
Oh.
especially for those of us who love a good doggy bag,
Mm-hmm.
resist the urge to take home leftovers
Leftovers and
on a buffet.
buffet leftovers.
Yeah. Even if you reheat them,
Right.
there's a chance that that food was already contaminated
Yeah, that's true.
at the event.
At the event.
And reheating might not be enough
Right.
to eliminate certain types of bacteria,
Yeah.
particularly the ones that produce heat-stable toxins.
Exactly.
It's tempting
It is.
to take home all those leftovers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
better to err on the side of caution
Absolutely.
when it comes to food safety.
Yeah, I so.
Going back to those bacillus cereus spores we talked about.
Yes.
They're different from regular bacterial cells.
How so?
They're
Well,
so resistant
oh, wow.
to heat drying,
All right.
even some disinfectants.
Really?
It's like
What are they like?
these tiny little armored warriors
Oh, wow.
just waiting for the right moment to emerge and multiply.
And multiply.
So even if the food's cooked thoroughly,
Right.
those spores can survive
Yes.
and then come back to life later.
That's a bit unsettling.
I know.
I'm starting to look at fried rice a little differently now.
Me too.
Yeah.
So what can we do
Yeah.
to protect ourselves?
That's a good question.
Are there any red flags we should look out for
Mm-hmm.
when we're choosing a caterer
Yes.
or attending an event?
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Well, one thing Chris mentioned
Yeah.
that really resonated with me
Mm.
is pay attention to the cleanliness
Mm,
and the organization of a catering setup.
makes sense.
Does the staff look clean and presentable?
Right.
Are they using separate utensils? For handling different foods,
Okay.
is the serving area well maintained,
Yeah.
free of clutter?
Right. So it's like a quick visual assessment
Esther.
of their food safety practices.
Yes. If things look sloppy
Right.
and disorganized,
Yeah.
it could be a sign that their food safety standards
Ugh.
are also lacking.
Okay. What about temperature control?
Temperature control.
Yeah. Are there any ways to tell
Oh, yeah.
if the food's being kept at the right temperature?
One obvious sign
Okay.
is if hot foods are lukewarm
Yeah.
or cold foods are room temperature.
Right.
Another thing to watch out for
Yeah.
are chafing dishes
Mm-hmm.
that aren't properly heated
Right.
or are running out of fuel.
Uh-huh.
The food in those dishes
Yeah.
can quickly drop into the danger zone
Oh.
where bacteria can thrive.
So it's not just about the food itself,
It's not just about the food.
but also the equipment
yes.
and how it's being used.
Exactly.
We should also not be afraid to
Right.
ask
Right.
questions. A reputable caterer
Yeah.
should be happy to answer
You never.
any concerns you have
For sure.
about their practices.
Absolutely.
It's our health
It is.
on the line.
Yes.
So it's worth speaking up.
It is.
And honestly, I think it shows the caterer that you take this seriously.
That's true.
And you're someone
Oh,
who takes food safety seriously,
Yeah.
which might even encourage them
Uh-huh.
to be extra diligent.
That's a good point.
So informed consumers
Mm-hmm.
are a caterer's best ally.
They are.
When it comes to promoting food safety,
Yes,
it creates a culture of accountability
it does.
and it helps everyone stay healthy.
Absolutely.
So we've talked a lot about the caterer's responsibility.
Yes.
But what about our own role
Yeah.
as consumers?
Right.
What can we do
Yeah. What can we do?
to protect ourselves
Mm-hmm.
beyond choosing a good caterer
Yeah,
and being observant at events?
that's a great question.
Hmm. What do you think?
Well, there are several things we can do individually
Huh?
to minimize our risk.
Okay.
First and foremost,
Yeah.
practice good personal hygiene.
Oh,
Wash your hands thoroughly
right.
before eating,
Yeah,
especially if you've been touching common surfaces.
right. Hand washing is always a good idea.
It is.
But it's especially important at events
Yeah.
where a lot of people are handling
Mm-hmm.
the same serving utensils.
Exactly.
And if you're serving yourself buffet style,
Yes.
use the serving utensils
Yeah.
that are provided
Yeah.
and avoid touching the food directly.
Avoid touching it.
Yeah.
Good point.
This helps prevent cross-contamination
Yes.
from your hands to the food.
It does.
So it seems like awareness
Uh-huh.
and common sense
Yes.
really go a long way
They do.
in preventing foodborne illness.
Yeah.
But what if,
Yeah.
despite our best efforts,
Mm-hmm.
we do end up experiencing
Oh, no.
food poisoning symptoms?
Okay.
What should we do?
That's a really important question. First, it's crucial to stay hydrated.
Okay.
Food poisoning
Yeah.
often leads to vomiting and diarrhea,
Right.
which can cause dehydration.
Mm-hmm.
Drink plenty of fluids,
Okay.
like water,
Yeah.
clear broth,
Okay.
or sports drinks to
Mhm.
replenish those lost electrolytes.
Good advice.
Yeah.
I know it can be tempting to just try and power through it,
Mm-hmm.
but staying hydrated is really key.
It is.
And if your symptoms are severe,
Right.
or if they persist for more than a couple of days,
Yeah,
don't hesitate to see a doctor.
definitely.
They can really assess the situation
Yeah.
and figure out if you need specific treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes food poisoning can lead to
Yeah.
more serious complications.
Right.
So it's always better to be safe than sorry.
I agree.
I'm realizing now that food safety is a lot more complex
It is.
than I initially thought.
Yeah.
It's not just about washing your hands
Right.
and,
Yeah.
cooking things properly.
It's more than that.
There's this whole chain of factors to consider,
Yeah.
from the source of the ingredients to how they're handled,
Mm-hmm.
stored,
Yeah.
served.
It all matters.
It really does.
Even those seemingly small details
Mm-hmm.
can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Chris mentioned something that really stuck with me. It
Yeah.
was about using separate cutting boards and utensils
Right.
for raw meat
Uh-huh.
and ready-to-eat foods.
Yeah.
It seems obvious,
It does.
but it's so easy to get complacent,
It is.
especially in a busy kitchen.
It's like when you're making a sandwich
Right.
and you use the same knife
Yeah.
to cut the raw chicken
Mm-hmm.
and then lettuce.
Oh, yeah.
I know I've done that before.
I think we've all been there.
I think we all have at some point.
But being aware of these potential pitfalls
Right.
is the first step in preventing them.
Absolutely.
It's about building good habits
Mm-hmm.
and being mindful
Yep.
of those little things.
Right.
That can make such a big difference.
Well, I feel like I've learned so much from this deep dive.
Me too.
It's really changed how I think about catered events.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be paying closer attention
Mhm.
to food safety from now on.
It's a good reminder that food safety is a shared responsibility.
It is.
Caterers obviously play a crucial role,
Mm-hmm.
but as consumers, we have a part to play too.
Absolutely.
By making informed choices,
Yeah?
we can make sure that our dining experiences
Right.
are both delicious
Mm-hmm.
and safe.
Exactly. So let's recap
Okay.
some key takeaways for our listeners.
Okay, sounds good.
First, when choosing a caterer,
Yeah,
don't just go for the cheapest option.
right.
Look for a company with a solid reputation
Mhm.
for food safety.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to ask them about
Mhm.
their practices.
Yeah, ask questions.
Ask questions.
Give advice.
Second,
Mm.
be observant at events.
Yes.
Pay attention to the overall cleanliness,
Mm.
how the food is being handled,
Right.
the temperature of the dishes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And lastly,
Yeah.
practice good personal
Yes.
Wash your hands frequently
Please wash your hands.
and be mindful of cross-contamination.
Very important.
If you're ever unsure about something,
Yeah.
just err on the side of caution.
Good advice.
Knowledge is power.
Is.
Now that you have all this information,
Mm.
you can enjoy those catered events
Yeah.
with more confidence
Absolutely.
and peace of mind.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive
Oh, it's my pleasure.
into the world of food safety
Yes.
in catering.
Fascinating topic.
It is a fascinating topic.
Yeah.
We hope we've given you some food for thought,
Oh,
pun intended,
Of course.
and hopefully
Yeah.
you'll never look at a buffet the same way again.
That's right.
Stay safe, stay informed, and
Yes.
until next time,
Yeah.
bon appétit.
Bon appetit.